and the Tyrant King's head fell down. The Dark Tyrant has finally been defeated. Thiet Huyet was extremely satisfied with Sung Yoon. He couldn't believe that a challenger with this crazy fast development ability was the one who made a contract with him. According to her assessment, Sung Yoon has reached the level of being considered the embodiment of the desire to develop. Thiet Huyet told herself that she had to get support for Sung Yoon faster before other administrators noticed him. The Tyrant King's head fell, and the crown was broken. Sung Yoon has completed the 10th floor challenge of the Trial Tower. He received a B+ level skill proficiency increase potion, received 60,000 points and 1,000 SXP. Not only that, but also received an additional 1,000 SXP. Because Sung Yoon was the person who contributed the most to the special mission, he received a special mission reward of 10,000 points and 1,500 SXP. Even though Sung Yoon received the highest contribution award, he was still extremely humble towards his two teammates. Sung Hun pointed straight at Sung Yoon's face and said to Sung Yoon in surprise, "You gave me quite a few surprises today. Now I'll send you a friend request. Let's talk later." Right after that, Sung Yoon received friend requests from Sung Hun and Chun Sok. The three of them split into three directions and returned to the classroom on the 11th floor. The system sent a notification to the players. More than 1,000 people have completed the 10th trial. The system will start expanding now. The dimensional travel category has been added to the store. Now Sung Yoon can move to other dimensions. The 4 words, dimensional travel, still make Sung Yoon feel confused. He thought, dimensional travel, meant he could travel to places like Ares or martial arts. Sung Yoon thought again and again, if he used this thing it would be no different from committing suicide. He also didn't understand why he needed this stupid skill. At that moment, a series of notifications from administrators were sent to Sung Yoon. You can go to the administrator's territory and set up additional contracts. However, only one additional contract can be established. After forming a contract, it also means that you will be limited. Sung Yoon can also terminate the additional contract at any time. But right now, Sung Yoon cannot predict anything. Now, you have to rearrange the things you got on the 10th floor first. Sung Yoon took out the skill proficiency increasing potion he had just received from the system, then used it. Wind's Grace is the skill Sung Yoon chose to increase his proficiency. The proficiency of the A-level Wind Grace point skill has increased by 20%, and not only that, it has also increased by 1 level. Becoming an A-level skill, the A-level Wind's Grace period has also disappeared, with the words, afternoon recovery time, disappearing. Next, Sung Yoon absorbs the soul of the Dark Tyrant King. His stats will increase permanently. He received one of the Dark Tyrant's skills, the A-level Mana Manipulation skill, which was added to Sung Yoon's skill system by the system. Now, Sung Yoon has stepped up to a new level, he has become a magical genius. At that moment, he received an invitation from King Iron Blood Tyrant. She invited him into her territory. Not only did he have iron blood but he also received an invitation from Bak Hak. Sung Yoon was extremely surprised by these two offers. He received 2 invitations from 2 administrators at the same time. And Sung Yoon chose iron blood. He immediately entered the iron blood world. As soon as Thiet Huyet saw him, he quickly opened the door to welcome Sung Yoon. She smiled with satisfaction, as expected. I knew you would choose me. Thanks to you I won the bet. Sung Yoon now understands why he received 2 invitations at the same time. It turned out it was just a bet. Sung Yoon wanted to ask Thiet Huyet something. He told Thiet Huyet he had just received the Mana Manipulation skill. He asked her if she knew anything about it. Thiet Huyet looked at him for a long time. She said Sung Yoon had a great skill. She asked Sung Yoon to go inside first, then she would tell him briefly. With that new Mana Manipulation skill, she asked Sung Yoon to try to use all the magical power in his body, using as much as possible. And Sung Yoon obediently followed Thiet Huyet's words. Sung Yoon frowned, he felt something was not right. His body felt like an electric current was running through him. Sung Yoon seemed to be in a lot of pain, he screamed. His mana circuit had been greatly enhanced thanks to the manipulation skill. The D-rank mana circuit skill has been forcibly enhanced by the application of A-rank mana. Sun Yoon's whole body was tense. Every drop of sweat on his face flowed down. He felt like his strength and physical strength had increased many times over. Sun Yoon immediately tested his strength, punching hard into the snow. An extremely powerful force was created from his fist, causing the ground to shake. Thiet Hai's thin layer of clothing was also blown away by Sun Yoon's attack. Thiet Hai's full HD appearance was completely displayed in front of Sun Yoon. This situation made him unable to handle it. Thiet Huyet looked at Sun Yoon's confused appearance and felt extremely funny. She teased Sun Yoon a few words. Then he also reminded Sun Yoon a few words about the skill Sun Yoon had just acquired. If Sun Yoon has time, try activating magic skills one by one while manipulating mana. When you understand how to enhance the use of mana, your magic skills will also increase in level. Sun Yoon was wondering now. He wanted to know why Thiet Huyet called him here. Before answering Sun Yoon's question, she asked Sun Yoon a question, who also knew that the system was extended when you entered the 11th floor waiting room, right? Sun Yoon answered her, yes, so I could get here without going through the tower. However, that is not the main reason Thiet Huyet wants to say. She explained to Sun Yoon, that wasn't the reason field interference was added. The real motive was so administrators could proactively educate their fake challengers. Sun Yoon didn't understand what Thiet Huyet was talking about. What she said was still very vague. Thiet Hui snapped her fingers and she would explain in the simplest way to Sun Yoon. A notice appeared before Sun Yoon's eyes. The Iron Blood Tyrant King Administrator used field intervention and gave the challenger a special skill. A new unique skill has been engraved into your soul. The A-rank Iron Blood Sword unique skill has been engraved into your soul. Sun Yoon's inverted cage lit up. He wondered and asked Thiet Huyet, could she give him such a skill? The truth was disheartening. Thiet Huyet did not have that ability, which meant that she had devoted enough to the tower to do this. Sun Yoon looked at her bewilderedly. He didn't understand why Thiet Huyet helped him so much. Thiet Huyet explained simply, because she saw Sun Yoon's potential. She told Sun Yoon a secret. Admins are rewarded for nurturing their fake challenges, but the intent is not positive. They are just investing in fake challenges because of their ultimate wish. The truths revealed from Iron Blood shocked Sun Yoon. What is the ultimate wish? Right now, Sun Yoon continuously receives invitations to the territory of Administrator Bok Hak. Thiet Huyet smirked. It seemed that this Bok Hak guy was impatient. She had already given the special skill to Sun Yoon. Now, Sun Yoon could leave. Sun Yoon also has no reason to stay here. He accepted Bok Hak's invitation and was teleported to his territory. He was teleported to a forest, where the bamboo forest was green, the wind was cool, an extremely ideal place for him to practice. He began to draw his sword, then practiced his special mana manipulation technique. The proficiency of the A-level 3 strike skill has increased by 8% thanks to the use of A-level mana. The instant acceleration skill is also increased by manipulating mana. The proficiency of the B-level reflect shield skill has increased by 7% thanks to the application of A-level mana. Now, Sun Yoon will also use sword energy. A strange thing happened. His sword energy did not activate through mana manipulation. What is the reason? You plan to level up Tambo Chom through sword energy. Is it because sword energy is a unique skill, so it cannot be activated? While Sun Yoon was confused, he received a notification from Bok Hak. He was waiting for him to visit. He could only temporarily put aside the matter of sword energy. Sun Yoon hurriedly ran to meet Bok Hak. In Sun Yoon's mind, this white crane is probably an old man like Baek Sun Hat aka. But the truth is extremely unbelievable. Bok Hak is a girl. Her beauty is not inferior to Thiet Huyet. Bok Hak hooked his arm and invited Sun Yoon to come over. Don't stand there so tired, sit down here. Sun Yoon just came down. His spirit immediately became brighter. The cool breeze hit his face. Bok Hak told him that she had been observing him for a long time, since the life and death battle of Sun Yoon and Baek Sun Hat aka on the 9th floor. Sun Yoon also couldn't help but wonder, wouldn't it be a waste for Bok Hak to give his skills to a challenger like Sun Yoon that he just met for the first time? Bok Hak had her own thoughts. She didn't feel like it was a waste. Sung Yoon needed to understand his exact value. She continued to tell Sung Yoon, even though Great Elder Baek Sunhat aka could not reach the light sword energy, he was still a skilled swordsman in martial arts. Even though he lost some of his strength when he entered the tower, defeating a fake challenger like him was truly a great achievement. Therefore, Sung Yoon did not need to refuse Sunhat aka, because the girl who signed the contract with Baek Sunhat aka recognized him. Sung Yoon began to feel that something was wrong. She was the one who signed the contract with Baek Sunhat aka. If so, then Bok Hak would most likely hate her. Bok Hak looked at Sung Yoon's expression and guessed what he was thinking. She told Sung Yoon not to be too cautious, because basically, he was simply a fake challenger wanting to earn points. Bok Hak also told him that she had made contracts with many fake challengers but had never invited anyone here. Sung Yoon was the first one. Bok Hak suddenly became agitated. She wanted Sung Yoon to make an additional contract with her. Sung Yoon is still very suspicious of her. He wants to know what he will receive from Bok Hak. Bok Hak will make you a disciple of Administrator Bok Hak Swordmaster. This means that Sung Yoon in the tower will be called the Administrator's Disciple, meaning Sung Yoon has made a special contract. At the same time, challengers accepted as disciples can purchase all special skills of that administrator. Sung Yoon was extremely surprised. He did not expect that the disciple contract was so important and that Thiat Huyat had never even explained these things to him, even though he was Thiat Haya's disciple. Sung Yoon is still extremely wondering why Bok Hak did not choose a fake challenge with a lifelong contract but instead chose a fake challenge with an additional contract. Bok Hak chose him only because he fulfilled her ultimate wish, because she needed the sharpest sword, a sword that would never be damaged by criticism, and Sung Yoon had the potential to become sharpest sword. Sung Yoon wants to know what Bok Hak's ultimate wish is? An administrator's earnest desire is from their past regrets and memories. If her earnest wish comes true, Sung Yoon will be able to change the past. Sung Yoon couldn't believe why it had to do with him. Bok Hak vaguely told Sung Yoon, when Sung Yoon climbs the tower higher, you will know whether Bok Hak is telling the truth or lying. Sung Yoon seemed to have remembered something. He wanted to ask Bok Hak something. He asked Bok Hak which floor he had to climb to make her earnest wish come true. Bok Hak also did not know the exact answer. This must be the waiting room of the top floor of the trial tower. Sung Yoon was extremely hesitant. He decided to sign a contract with Bok Hak, making her extremely happy. She was so excited that she was jumping around. Bok Hak is sure Sung Yoon will not regret this decision. Sung Yoon was also recognized as a true disciple of a White Crane Swordmaster Administrator thanks to the disciple's benefits. The effectiveness of authority and skills from the Murim dimension will increase by 10%, mana increased by 3, agility increased by 3. Bok Hak suddenly asked him, perhaps, have you not heard anything from her? Regarding the person looking for him, Sung Yoon didn't hear anything Thiat Huyat said. Bok Hak sighed. It seemed that Thiat Huyat extremely trusted Sung Yoon. And Bok Hak also trusts Sung Yoon very much, but she has to tell him this. What I'm about to say will take up a question mark. I'm asking you if there's any problem. Sung Yoon of course agreed. He didn't use that pile of paper for anything. Immediately after that, the system displayed a notification that Sung Yoon had used all of his questionnaires, making Sung Yoon extremely surprised. Could it be that the information he was about to learn was so important? White Crane tells Sung Yoon that in Murim Dimension there is a powerful organization called the Murim Alliance and Baek Sunhat AK holds a role as the leader of the alliance. Therefore, there was someone looking for him in the Murim Dimension. Sung Yoon felt like Bok Hak's words were trying to imply that the people in the alliance were looking for him and wanted revenge. Bok Hak shook his head. That's not what she meant. The Murim Alliance is in a mess because of the war for the position of the Patriarch, and wants to kill Sung Yoon, named Lam Thien Kiem Long Nam Gung Hyuk, who is a self-made man. So the name surrounds the ranks of martial arts experts who have lived in the Murim dimension for centuries and are geniuses themselves. Although the reason he came to find Sung Yoon was for revenge, the underlying reason was that he was curious. Bok Hak reminded Sung Yoon, when fighting him, You must be mentally prepared to die. Sung Yoon was then moved to the waiting room on the 10th floor. The name Nam Gung Hyuk made him think. Clearly they were the ones who first invaded his floor, and now they were looking for him to take revenge. He thought, just used 1,500 SXP to buy C+ level armored authority. He continued to buy stones and returned. Even though he was here now, there was nothing he could do. Before clashing with that Nam Gung Hyuk, you have to level up like crazy. He used the return stone to return to Earth. Sung Yoon just returned to Earth and received 132 calls and 87 text messages from Ha Son. He quickly activated the iron skill to run to her side. What problem did she encounter that made her call him so much? At the Hunter Association, there were people everywhere, everyone's faces full of discomfort. As soon as Sung Yoon appeared, he attracted the attention of other hunters. He quickly ran inside to meet Ha Son. Sung Yoon wondered what happened to Ha Zion to contact him so urgently. She told Sung Yoon, something big happened in Japan. The manager played him a video. This is a video recorded by a hunter and sent to them by Japan. The main location is Shinjuku, Tokyo. The Japanese Hunter Association detected a large wave coming from the gate and sent a team of 7A rank hunters to the scene. The human pangolin that came out of the gate, although a bit surprised, managed to kill 6A rank hunters in a matter of seconds. Currently, everyone thinks that he is a challenger from another world who has invaded the Earth dimension. Sung Yoon's mind immediately thought of something else, but could it be such a coincidence? Sung Yoon wondered if the situation was so dangerous, wouldn't the manager have to mobilize everyone to help Japan? This is extremely complicated. The manager explained to him that most countries try to protect their hunters. So they blocked any hunters from coming to support Japan. The same goes for Korea. Sung Yoon stared at the screen. The person inside the screen was Nam Gung Hyuk. He didn't think he would meet him at this time. Sung Yoon told Ha Son, please send a response to Japan's request. You will go to Shinjuku. Ha Son doesn't understand why Sung Yoon made that decision. She was afraid he would be in danger and kept asking him why. Why do such reckless things? Sung Yoon suddenly patted her head. He thanked Ha Son for worrying about him, but there were a few things he needed to deal with. Going back to the past, at that time, Nam Gung Hyuk was just 13 years old and showed himself to be superior to his peers. The Sword Saint also greatly valued his talent, but he still had something to remind him that martial arts were not used to harm others but were part of the realm of transcendence. You can't hurt someone for no reason. And then, the trial tower appeared. The system was selecting a challenger from the martial arts dimension. With his talent, Nam Gung Hyuk, when he was only 17 years old, climbed to the 20th floor, but he was still not satisfied. His desire could not be satisfied by climbing the tower. Nam Gung used a dimensional invasion ticket. You have ruined the happiness of others. Only by doing so will you feel happy. It's been many years. Nam Gung Hyuk no longer feels satisfied killing those pitiful brats, and walking around the martial arts world killing people is not allowed. However, the appearance of the name Han Sung Yoon aroused the interest that had been dormant in his heart. On the other hand, Sung Yoon was escorted all the way to Japan. He was led to a room by a female employee because there were a few other people inside waiting for him. As soon as Sung Yoon walked in, he recognized someone familiar. The two of them were also former teammates on the 10th floor of Sung Yoon, Sung Hun and Chun Sok. Sung Yoon had heard from the association before that Sung Hun and Chun Sok were also here but didn't expect them to actually participate. Sung Hun also heard that there is another fake challenger from America. He will be here soon. Sung Yoon understood. Even if the three of them were equal to S-rank hunters, the fake challenger from another dimension appearing in Shinjuku was a monster that could not be identified and defeated. All three of them. Therefore, Sung Yoon hoped that the fake challenger from America would be a strong person. The fake challenger from America has also arrived. She is also Sung Yoon's opponent in the arena. Catherine was also extremely surprised to meet Sung Yoon here. Catherine was extremely confused. She really didn't want to meet Sung Yoon this way. She blushed and told Sung Yoon that she wanted to meet him on a more normal day. Sung Yoon was extremely nervous. He calmly answered her. The first time we met was not a normal meeting, so we didn't need to be like that. Sung Hun furrowed his eyebrows and frowned. Catherine and Sung Yoon had just met and there was so much talk. He even thought that the two of them were a couple. The 4 challengers had gathered, and it was time for the association staff to introduce themselves. Actually, you are not an employee at all. Your real identity is the president of the Japanese Hunter Association, Ari Chika. The president of the association personally came out to welcome the 4 of them. Perhaps Japan was truly desperate. Chika begins to tell everyone that it is not expected that there will be any more support for Japan. The situation is actually much more serious than I thought, so perhaps they are adjusting the number of hunters they send to assist. Chika bowed her head at a 90-degree angle to the 4 challengers. She was deeply moved by the hearts of the 4 of them. When everyone turned their backs on her, only 4 of them were willing to step up and help. Sung Yoon hurriedly walked over. He helped Chika stand up. This was not the time to bow. Instead of saying touching words, Sung Yoon suddenly said, "Instead of bowing, you should increase our reward. I ask you to double the promised reward, and then I will actively support you wholeheartedly to solve this problem." Sung Yoon didn't come here to become a saint or a hero, but he came for the reward and growth he could receive for taking Nam Gung Hyuk's life. Chika promised Sung Yoon she would double the reward for the 4 of them. She suddenly became agitated and said, "The situation is not completely hopeless. We still have a chance to win. The power Catherine possesses can turn the tide of battle." Catherine confidently told them that one of the special skills she possessed was called fire suppression. If an opponent stronger than you touches this flame, your unique ability will be activated. All of that person's stats will be reduced by 10 and a random skill of the opponent will be sealed if using this special skill they can win. However, the opponent must touch the fire in your hand. At the same time, on the battlefield, S-rank hunter from China Pang Yaman proactively came to find Nam Gung Hyuk. He stood in front of Nam Gung Hyuk and introduced himself as Bon Bok Mok from China. He will soon make Nam Gung Hyuk regret that he despised the Earth dimension. Nam Gung Hyuk was extremely depressed. He didn't understand why the flies and mosquitoes kept coming to bother him. The person he needs to find is only Han Sung Yoon. In a moment, Bon Bok Mok activated his acceleration skill, rushed forward like lightning, and punched Nam Gung Hyuk in the face. His eyes lit up. It turned out that Bon Bok Mok was a martial artist. He didn't care at all about Bon Bok Mok's punch. On the contrary, he was extremely calm. Pang Bai Mok's facial expression turned pale, the ground shook, and a huge shock broke out. Chun Sok doesn't understand why Bon Bok Mok acted on his own. Sung Yoon suddenly asked Catherine, "Can you land safely even if we jump down from the air?" Sung Yoon had a new insight. If this worked, we could deal a ton of damage to him in just one hit. At that time, Catherine should activate her unique skill. After that, Sung Yoon suddenly hugged her and activated his special skill Iron Wing. He and Catherine rushed down below. Sung Yoon didn't even give her an explanation but took action. Sung Yoon tells her, "The good thing is that the Chinese hunter is attracting Nam Gung Hyuk's attention." Sung Yoon threw Catherine aside. He reminded her, "If you see an opportunity, activate your special skill." He will rush to the fight between Bon Bok Mok and Nam Gung Hyuk. Pang Bok Mok's shield was now destroyed by Nam Gung Hyuk. Nam Gung Hyuk continuously mocked him. He finally finished off Pang Bok Mok with a 18-stroke attack. At that moment, a fireball suddenly rushed forward and attacked Nam Gung Hyuk from behind. He was pushed out, his whole body crashing into the cliff. Sung Yoon slowly walked out. He muttered under his breath, "Falling from the sky is something I never want to try again." Sung Yoon smirked and asked Nam Gung Hyuk, "You've been looking for me for so long, but now that I'm here, you don't recognize me." Nam Gung Hyuk still hasn't seen that the person standing in front of him is the Sung Yoon he is looking for. Nam Gung Hyuk asked harshly who Sung Yoon was. Sung Yoon activates the level B Blood Ash skill. All pain effects on the user will be reduced by 40%. If the user barely survives, level B Ash blood proficiency will increase by 20%. Sung Yoon deliberately challenged Nam Gung Hyuk, who wanted to find me so much, but now that I'm here, he doesn't recognize me. Sung Yoon loudly declared to Nam Gung Hyuk that he was Han Sung Yoon. Sun Yun simultaneously activated his Sword Master authority. Nam Gung-hyuk looked down. He was looking forward to meeting Sun Yun, but now Sun Yun made him so disappointed. In Nam Gung-hyuk's mind, Sun Yun is just an ordinary person learning to use sword energy. Sun Yun has officially angered Nam Gung-hyuk. Sun Yun took advantage of Nam Gung-hyuk's lack of weapons, so he had to take advantage of the time to attack first. At that moment, Nam Gung-hyuk activated his weapon, ready to receive Sun Yun's attack. Nam Gung-hyuk's destructive power was extremely powerful. All the surrounding stones were pushed up. Sun Yun also realized that if he was hit directly, he would definitely die. Sun Yun continued to activate the Blood and Ashes skill. A protective screen slowly appeared in front of Sun Yun. Sun Yun was extremely angry. He thought his fall had weakened Nam Gung-hyuk, but Nam Gung-hyuk broke his countershield in one blow. Sun Yun stared at the sword in Nam Gung-hyuk's hand. Perhaps it was the real sword. Nam Gung-hyuk kept clicking his tongue. How he expected Sun Yun, but he didn't expect him to depend on the black magic from the tower to recover. Sun Yun ignored what Nam Gung-hyuk was saying. He continued to activate the lightning sword energy skill. A sword and lightning combined together rushed straight at Nam Gung-hyuk. Nam Gung-hyuk was still standing in one place. He swung his sword straight to destroy Sun Yun's lightning sword energy. At that moment, Chun Sok and Sung Hun suddenly attacked Nam Gung-hyuk from behind. However, still recognized by Nam Gung-hyuk, he quickly jumped to another place. This was also the right time for Catherine to take action. She appeared behind Nam Gung-hyuk, using fire pressure to attack Nam Gung-hyuk. This is an authority. When the user uses it on an enemy, all of the enemy's stats will be reduced by 10 and some of their skills. Her authority burned up. Catherine looked on in bewilderment, wondering if her authority had no effect. Chun Sok suddenly shouted loudly. He pointed to one direction, asking everyone to look to the other side. Nam Gung-hyuk stood on an electric light pole, his body emitting a terrifying aura. He started threatening, "You flies are ruining my fun." The instincts of a hunter who had experienced many death battles told them that they could not block this attack. Nam Gung-hyuk's sword energy absorbed the aura of heaven and earth. One blow wanted to end everything. The three of them became extremely panicked and talked to each other. Quickly dodging, a blinding light appeared. In that dangerous moment, Sung Yoon remembered the conversation with Bok Hak. Bok Hak appeared and shook hands with Sung Yoon. She told him, "Just consider this lesson as a small gift. Just a little mana transfer. This time, it's not just a little bit of mana, because it also contains an emotional connection." It turned out that Bok Hak was transmitting some of his mana to Sung Yoon. His whole body was receiving Bok's mana flow. Cranes surround. His face was bewildered, still not understanding what was going on. Sung Yoon looked at his palm. He said to Bok Hak, "I felt a little mana the first time, and the second time I felt you." Bok Hak's sword energy was inside me. Sung Yoon felt it very well. His aunt smiled and said to him, "Good. Now apply it to your sword. However, when will you leave here and use it? Because next to an administrator, all disadvantages will be eliminated." Immediately a notification appeared from the system. Skills and authority were not used through sword energy but instead originated from the user's enlightenment. Sung Yoon was the first person to use sword energy on Earth. The trial tower sent praise to challenger Han Sung Yoon. He received the Sword Fusion achievement. Due to the increased mana consumption of the Sword Master's authority, the penalty was removed. Sung Yoon was now overwhelmed with strength. He turned around and asked his teammates, "Is everything okay?" Catherine remembered Sung Yoon's recent attack. In that moment, Sung Yoon used an attack of equal power to destroy Nam Gung-hyuk's attack. Nam Gung-hyuk suddenly laughed out loud at Sung Yoon's strong counterattack. At least he should be like that. Don't let Nam Gung-hyuk be disappointed. Nam Gung-hyuk took the initiative to attack this time. Nam Gung-hyuk's strength made him fall backwards. He had met many fake challenges from another world, but the guy in front of him was like a real madman. Sung Yoon was pushed back. He extremely blamed himself. "You say to everyone, 'I'm sorry,' but can everyone step back? If I have to save everyone like last time, I won't be able to concentrate." Catherine wanted to help Sung Yoon, but was still stopped by Sung Hun. Sung Yoon is right, it would be better for them to move back. However, Sung Han also told Sung Yoon that if they had the chance, they would still act as planned. Then, quickly run to another safe place. Sung Yoon and Nam Gung Hyuk continue their fight. The two of them fought from the ground to the air. Not being here is like being torn apart. Chun Sok witnessed the power of Sung Yoon and Nam Gung Hyuk. He now understood why Sung Yoon asked them to step back. Catherine was surprised and told Sung Han and Chun Sok, "Amazing, Han Sung Yoon can fight on par with that monster." Sung Han immediately interrupted Catherine. "No, I feel like he is somewhat outmatched. At this rate he will die." As expected, like what Sung Han said, Nam Gung Hyuk is one level higher than Han Sung Yoon. Sung Yoon was just trying to defend against Nam Gung Hyuk's attacks. He thought that by leveling up his sword spirit, he would be able to have a decent match with Nam Gung Hyuk. But I didn't expect things to get this bad. Sung Yoon remembered what Bok Hak once said. She said that Nam Gung Hyuk's swordsmanship skills are at a level, while Sung Yoon's swordsmanship is only at sea level. If you ignore skills, Nam Gung Hyuk is still very strong. Sung Yoon was breathing heavily. He had used too much physical strength to recover. If this continued, it would affect his fighting ability. At that moment, Catherine quickly threw a stamina recovery bottle to Sung Yoon. Before Sung Yoon could drink, Nam Gung Hyuk kicked him in the stomach, sending him flying away. The potion fell into Nam Gung Hyuk's hand, then he calmly drank it in front of everyone. Nam Gung Hyuk continues to provoke his opponent. Humanity always has something called hope. The same goes for Sung Yoon, but I will tear that fragile hope apart. Nam Gung Hyuk completely took the initiative. He looked at the way Sung Yoon fought with him. Those eyes full of determination made him unable to stand it. He forcefully threw his fist at Sung Yoon. Sung Yoon fell on the ground. His bones seemed to be broken into pieces. Nam Gung Hyuk stood in front of him, his face full of indignation. He clearly saw that Sung Yoon had no strength left to move. But why were Sung Yoon's eyes still the same? The more Nam Gung Hyuk thought about it, the angrier he became. He would make it impossible for Sung Yoon to have that look in his eyes. He screamed, then brutally took away Sung Yoon's eyes with a sword strike. His sword passed through his eyes, blood sprayed out in streams. Sung Yoon's eyes were bleeding. He had run out of stamina to recover. With the remaining strength, he could only launch one more attack. But the important thing now is that his eyes can no longer see anything. Sung Yoon was extremely upset. Nam Gung Hyuk's strength was too strong. What should he do to turn the situation around? At that moment, Catherine and Sung Hun came running. They wanted to help Sung Yoon. Even though Sung Yoon was in a dangerous situation, he still thought about the safety of his teammates. You know one thing for sure. If they come here they will definitely be killed by Nam Gung Hyuk. Sung Yoon loudly asked them not to come here. Nam Gung Hyuk cried out, his face becoming more cruel with a creepy smile. He intentionally said, "So this is the reason why you still keep those eyes until now." Catherine activated her special fire skill to attack Nam Gung Hyuk. However, he was one step faster than her. In an instant he moved behind Catherine, and a fatal sword strike hit her back. Sung Han immediately ran over and used lightning to block Nam Gung Hyuk's attack. Nam Gung Hyuk leaned to the side, easily avoiding Sung Hun's attack. He jumped on Sung Hun's head, then stepped on his head, sinking Sung Hun's whole body below the ground. Nam Gung Hyuk still did not stop. He grabbed Catherine's hair and brought it in front of Sung Yoon. He placed the blade on Miss Catherine, deliberately telling Sung Yoon, "I can smell the meat being cooked." Sung Yoon was extremely angry. He loudly told Nam Gung Hyuk to stop that perverted bastard. Sung Yoon's helpless but unable to do anything expression made Nam Gung Hyuk extremely excited. He wanted to see this expression more. At that moment, Chun Sok suddenly appeared. He used his special ice prison skill to freeze part of Nam Gung Hyuk's arm, successfully saving Catherine from the scythe of death. Chun Sok's sudden appearance made Nam Gung Hyuk extremely angry. He used his power to easily destroy the ice on his arm. Then hurriedly chased after Chun Sok and Catherine. Chun Sok sensed the danger. He immediately formed a ball to protect Catherine. With this orb, Catherine can be temporarily safe. That's the only thing Chun Sok can do right now. The danger doesn't stop there. Nam Gung Hyuk caught up with his speed. He grabbed Chun Sok's hair, and a sword slash cut off the defense shield on Chun Sok's body. Sung Han also woke up now. He tried to sit up from the rock layer. Even though Sung Yoon couldn't see it, he still felt that the situation was becoming more and more unfavorable for him. The situation he is facing now is exactly the same as 7 years ago. Your teammates are facing death, and you can't protect anyone. At that moment, the squeaking rats came. This battle was nothing short of a disaster. Sung Yoon suddenly thought of a new plan. You can only use this one attack now. He attacked the rats, then absorbed all of their souls to restore his physical strength. He stepped forward, then raised his voice and said to Nam Gung Hyuk, "Stop, you pervert Murum." Nam Gung Hyuk not only did not stop but also enjoyed taking Sung Han's arm. While Nam Gung Hyuk was gloating about his actions, challenger Bon Bok Mok suddenly rushed forward. He put all his remaining strength into Nam Gung Hyuk's stomach. The notification system appeared. Due to the fire pressure, the abilities of those who encountered it were significantly reduced, causing them to be locked for 10 minutes. All except Nam Gung Hyuk are immune to the fire. Pung Bok Mok was extremely indignant. This was his revenge for everything Nam Gung Hyuk did to him. He said loudly, "I am the hero of China, Bok Bok Mok, and I am still alive." After that, he quickly carried Sung Han and left. He seemed to be trying to stay awake and said to Sung Yoon, "I've used Catherine's fire, let's withdraw." Nam Gung Hyuk was so angry that he couldn't use sword energy anymore due to the effect of fire authority. Nam Gung Hyuk was extremely stubborn. He couldn't just sit back and endure the glare. He activated the fight. Swords immediately appeared in the sky and they were descending one after another around the position where he and Sung Yoon were standing. The notification appeared again. Due to the effect of the unique combat characteristic, a battle area was created within a radius of 30 meters. Everyone except Han Sung Yoon and Nam Gung Hyuk could not interfere in the arena. Nam Gung Hyuk is extremely confident. Even though his sword energy is locked, he still has fighting spirit. There is no need to panic. And what can a blind guy like Sung Yoon do to him? Sung Yoon stood motionless, slowly feeling the movements around him. Spiritual eyes, which can help him see attacks even when he can't see them. Thanks to Sung Yoon, he can see Nam Gung Hyuk's movements and even the stones inside. Sung Yoon felt like he had opened his 3 eyes. His D-level spiritual eyes skill was increasing to B rank. His C+ level 6th sense skill was also ranked up. Sung Yoon really couldn't believe that a skill he had forgotten existed. Now he used it to level up and make his senses stronger. His demon slaying skill and blood ash skill increased at the same time. Sung Yoon has officially surpassed his limits. The expression on Nam Gung Hyuk's face suddenly stopped. He quickly stepped back. Sung Yoon slowly opened his eyes, still looking at Nam Gung Hyuk's determined eyes the most. Sung Yoon can now confidently say that he can fight on equal terms with Nam Gung Hyuk when his energy has been reduced. Nam Gung Hyuk didn't understand what was going on. Why Sung Yoon was able to recover his physical strength in just a short period of time. Wasn't he seriously injured? Sung Yoon moved even faster than before. His blade became sharper. Sung Yoon still rushed forward. He activated the hidden skill. Movement speed increased by 30%. He continued to activate the speed skill, the wind's blessing skill. The entire speed increased by 70%. The current cumulative progress was 7/7. Sung Yoon continuously activates the skills he has. The skill of Sword Madness is activated. All attack speeds of sword-type weapons increase by 20%. The current stack is 10 out of 10. Sung Yoon will repay all the pain that Nam Gung Hyuk caused his teammate. Sung Yoon used all his strength to directly attack Nam Gung Hyuk. Even though Sung Yoon activated all the skills he had to fight him, he still understood one thing. His skills could only barely match Nam Gung Hyuk's. He will soon run out of stamina, and the limitations Nam Gung Hyuk admitted will soon disappear. Sung Yoon must end this match before the fire is still effective on Nam Gung Hyuk's body. Sung Yoon raised his sword, the thing that could change the outcome of the close combat due to an unexpected turn of events. He decided to throw the sword towards Nam Gung Hyuk. Nam Gung Hyuk leaned to the side, easily avoiding his sword. He continued to provoke Sung Yoon, worried about making the wrong decision. Stupid guy. Nam Gung Hyuk was burning with fighting fire. He rushed at Sung Yoon, wanting to punch him once to relieve his anger and extinguish his hope of victory. Sung Yoon fell back and activated the Iron Blood Sword skill. The sword rushed out from inside Sung Yoon, stabbing straight into Nam Gung Hyuk's stomach, making him extremely surprised, so surprised that he could not have predicted this. His mouth was filled with blood. Sung Yoon's sword had pierced his dantian. He had to hurry if he wanted to recover. At that moment, the fire pressure authority ended. The unique fighting feature also ended. The arena disappeared, and people outside could move inside. Nam Gung Hyuk threw away the sword stuck in his stomach. He would end this battle here. Nam Gung Hyuk suddenly took out a stone and a portal immediately appeared. Everyone immediately realized the problem. Nam Gung Hyuk was trying to return to the Murum dimension. At that moment, everyone understood that if they did not kill Nam Gung Hyuk here, it would mean he would be a terrible disaster for the Earth in the future. Everyone rushed up, absolutely not letting Nam Gung Hyuk escape. Nam Gung Hyuk from every photo, are they trying to stop him? He used his fire sword to stop them, and an extremely large attack force appeared. The light from Nam Gung Hyuk's fire sword became more and more powerful and was rushing towards everyone. And at that time, Sung Yoon appeared in front of them. He used himself to block Nam Gung Hyuk's fire sword. His anti-shield ability was destroyed, accumulated damage would not be reflected, and his arm was also shattered. Pung Bok Mok ran over. He wanted to help Sung Yoon treat his wound. Sung Yoon said again, "Don't worry, the enemy is still here." Sung Yoon's attitude made Nam Gung Hyuk's eyes widen more and more. He told him, "I could have killed someone with one blow right from the start. Would you like it to end like that?" He continued, "He will be back soon. Then slowly enter the teleportation gate and leave here." Right after Nam Gung Hyuk left, that's when Sung Yoon collapsed. Nam Gung Hyuk has now also returned to his dimension. As soon as Nam Gung Hyuk stepped out of the door, he immediately collapsed, blood pouring out in a stream. Nam Gung Hyuk he still won't stop. He will drown Sung Yoon into despair. At the Tokyo hospital, Sung Yoon was able to open his eyes after a long sleep and slowly sat up. He looked down at his amputated arm, his face still showing no fear. Chika bowed her head to Sung Yoon. She really didn't know what to say. Sung Yoon sacrificed so much for her country. Without saying a word, Sung Yeon activated the blood and ashes skill. His arm naturally grew back like a lizard with its tail cut off. He told Chika he was fine, then asked how everyone was. Sung Yoon ran to Catherine's room. He hastily opened the curtain and loudly asked her, "Catherine, are you okay?" Catherine was changing the wiper tape. She looked at him. He looked at her. Then Catherine's scream rang out. Chun Sok walked over with 2 crutches. He walked and lamented about life, just in time to see Sung Yoon walking towards him, with 5 fingerprints on Sung Yoon's face. Sung Yoon told Chun Sok, "Well, I went into Catherine's room and overall she was still very energetic and completely fine. But that's not important for now." Sung Yoon asked Chun Sok, "But I don't see Kim Sung Hun in his room. Do you know where he is?" Chun Sok looked down. The more he mentioned Sung Hun, the more hurt Chun Sok became. "This morning, you went to see Sung Hun. Sung Hun is feeling very bad right now. He lost his right arm." At the same time, Sung Hun was standing alone on the rooftop, looking into the distance. Sung Yoon just came here by accident, but did not expect to meet Sung Hun. Sung Hun turned his head and Sung Yoon looked at Sung Yoon's broken arm, which had recovered. He asked Sung Yoon, "Your left hand, do you use a skill to restore it? An unbelievable skill. You always surprise others." Sung Hun pulled up his sleeve. He said to Sung Yoon, "As you heard, my right arm cannot be saved." Sung Yoon choked up as he apologized to Sung Hun. "If you were stronger then, this wouldn't have happened again." Sung Hun created an ice arm in front of Sung Yoon. He told Sung Yoon not to blame himself. He still had another skill to compensate. Sung Yoon didn't know what to say. He was frantically climbing the tower just to become stronger, as if he had a fungus, as if he had grandfather vision. Sung Hun sighed more. Sung Yoon climbing the tower wasn't a bad thing. He was sure that was the only thing that made him strong. He continued saying, the strong should help the weak, at least that's my ideal in life. Sung Yoon didn't know what to say, but after that battle, he remembered important things that he had long forgotten. Sung Hun slowly took off one side of the mask. He was somewhat relieved that someone as strong as Sung Yoon was not a psychopath. He also didn't know what Sung Yoon was thinking when they first met in the tower. Sung Hun kindly offered Sung Yoon a cigarette. Sung Yoon was naturally not interested in drinking and smoking. He wanted to refuse Sung Hun, but when he saw Sung Hun's face behind the mask, Sung Yoon was extremely surprised. Sung Yoon really couldn't believe that Sung Hun was that person. Sung Hun turned to look at Sung Yoon. He said to Sung Yoon, "It seems I forgot to tell you who I am." Immediately after the fake challenger's body was recovered, people were constantly mentioned by the media and interviews were continuously held. Sung Yoon gave Catherine a necklace. After that, the challengers also said goodbye to each other. Sung Yoon put on his tail shirt again. He felt that this tail shirt had been upgraded a bit after being repaired. The equipment was all in perfect condition. Sung Yoon was lying on the bed. The 3 days returning to Earth were crazy. He didn't want to be famous like this at all. He took out his phone to browse and accidentally saw the video of the battle posted on all online forums. Thousands of enthusiastic comments about Sung Yoon appeared. He read the comment that mentioned his fighting style was similar to a demon sword. He immediately had a thought in his mind. Could it be the demon sword that Sung Hun mentioned the other day? The more he read, the more surprised he felt. He didn't expect Sung Hun to be the emperor. His nickname is the strongest among the 30s rank hunters in South Korea. He destroys gates with a speed that no one can match. It's not wrong to say he's a South Korean hero. That night, Sung Hun gave his contact information to Sung Yoon. If anything happens, just contact me. Sung Yoon's time on Earth is over. It's time for him to return to the tower. He must become stronger to be able to live up to the demon sword name that everyone has given him. In just a blink of an eye, Sung Yoon returned to the waiting room on the 11th floor of the tower. Sung Yoon quickly sat up. He learned a few things after the battle with Nam Gung Hyuk. That is physical strength. Blood of Ashes is one of the strongest recovery skills he has, but it won't activate if he doesn't have enough stamina. It's time for him to find a new stamina recovery skill. Sung Yoon browsed through each skill on the store. And the best way to solve these problems is for you to buy them all. Sung Yoon decided to use 15,000 points to buy automatic level D stamina recovery. He continued to use 10 points to buy E-level Moonlight Absorption. 20,000 points to buy C-level Outstanding Development. Continued to use 20,000 points to buy the Call of Blood level C. Next, Sung Yoon activated the skill Fusion Authority. He combined E-level Light Energy Absorption and E-level Moonlight Absorption together. He received C-level Photosynthesis skill. This is a skill whose recovery effect will increase by 200% under moonlight or sunlight. The user will be able to absorb mana through light. Next, Sung Yoon continued to combine C-level Photosynthesis skills and C-level Blood's Call. He received the C-rank Blood-Stained Contract skill. Skills have effects. The user will be able to inject HP, stamina, and mana from the blood of the living creature the user kills. These two skills combined together make Sung Yoon a bit disappointed. The skill's rank did not increase and the ability of photosynthesis disappeared. Sung Yoon agreed to use an additional 20,000 points to buy the Call of Blood level C. You're rich, you just need to buy another one and combine it with another skill together. This time, Sung Yoon decided to combine the Bloody Contract with the Call of Blood together. He received the B-rank Bloodseeker skill. Sung Yoon was extremely satisfied. At least he got a B grade. The skill has a basic effect. The user will be able to inject HP, stamina and mana from the blood of living creatures and will master the ability to control blood. There is also an additional effect. All of the user's lost health will automatically be restored bit by bit. Combining such delicious skills, Sung Yoon must try it immediately. He made a cut on his palm. Blood splattered. The drops of blood were following his control. Sung Yoon can even shape it. He can even squeeze blood out even without any wounds. Even though he had to create an open wound to be able to use more blood, Sung Yoon would have more time to upgrade his Eyes of Truth. Sung Yoon continued to fuse new skills and created the A+ level Fire Dragon Eye skill. This is a skill with a basic effect, the power of the Fire Dragon Eye covering the eyes so the user can see things that cannot be seen. As an additional effect, the user can see the item's information and see through the lie. Sung Yoon immediately activates the skill. He immediately saw information about the items he was wearing, seeing things he couldn't see before. Sung Yoon saw information about the Thien Blood Demon Sword. When the user can use the Fire Sword world, upgrade their blood energy to the maximum and will unlock the ultimate skill. Fire Sword, that is also the reason Nam Gung Hyuk can destroy all of Shinjuku. Sung Yoon thought that only those who had reached that level could realize the true ability of the Heavenly Blood Demon Sword. He thought this was just a good sword but didn't think it had such a skill. Sung Yoon no longer has a reason to be naked. He decided to enter the 11th floor of the experimental tower. The topic of level 11 trials is to verify the spirit and conditions for completing 7 trials within the specified time. Failure will result in death. Sung Yoon enters the teleportation door. The door takes him to a temple. People inside the temple came out to greet him, welcoming Sung Yoon to the Temple of Truth. He gives Sung Yoon a challenge. He must pass the trials set by the god, and the trials will not stop until Sung Yeon dies. Before the trial had even begun, this man threatened Sung Yoon, who had decided to choose this trial of God even though he was just an ordinary adventurer, so he would have to face many consequences. Sung Yoon right now just wants to know what he has to do to complete the first practice. This man was suspicious of Sung Yoon, even the rules of the Aries test of the 7 supreme gods that Sung Yoon did not know. He kindly explained to Sung Yoon that the trial was very simple. Sung Yoon had to prove his body, beliefs and spirit. First will be the body, last is the spirit, which is also the most difficult part. The way to pass the test is equally simple. There will be a high priest waiting for you in each trial room. If you want to reach another room, you either have to kill them or convince them. This man has explained everything to Sung Yoon, the rest must be taken care of by him. The first practice in Sung Yoon's 11th floor challenge officially begins. The man immediately rushed to attack Sung Yoon. With the speed of his attacks and movements, Sung Yoon was certain that he must be at the level of a fake challenger with the title of Vanguard. Sung Yoon activated the blood pursuit skill. He controlled drops of his blood into bullets, attacking the man's body. The man who was hit by Sung Yoon's bullet immediately fell backwards, and then no longer moved. Sung Yoon absorbed his soul into himself. His proficiency increased by 5.8%. The monk's administrator was extremely shocked when he witnessed what had just happened. The god-slaying swordsman administrator also nodded at Sung Yoon's actions. The assassin's administrator also happily participated in Sung Yoon's battle. Sung Yoon also realized that he himself seemed to be receiving the attention of the administrators because this trial was related to gods. Sung Yoon went next to the man's body. He took his items. There were also more and more tower administrators monitoring his actions. Sung Yoon activated the Fire Dragon Eye skill. He saw the information of the item he had just found. It was a mirror containing the divinity of a C+ rank supreme monk. A mirror that monk Johan infuses his divinity into daily. The user can use divinity to create a divine shield once only. When creating a shield, morale can collapse. The divinity in the mirror can lead the user to prove their destiny. Sung Yoon doesn't understand what is called proof of destiny here. What does it even mean? He hopes that more matchmakers will come back to prove their bodies. Sung Yoon continues to the second challenge. This time, the person Sung Yoon defeated was a girl with a hot body. She introduced Sung Yoon. She was the second nun of the trial. Pleased to meet Sung Yoon. She greeted Sung Yoon by throwing the chair she was sitting on at him, then continued to rush towards him. The girl is as hot as ice cream. Just when she met Sung Yoon, she immediately wanted to eat him. Sung Yoon leaned to the side to avoid her sword tip. Sung Yoon had a feeling that the sword she was using was the same as the one he used before. Sung Yoon has activated his sword master authority. He would show the nun how to attack. Sung Yoon's sword energy rushed straight at her. She activated the skill to protect herself, preventing Sung Yoon's attack from coming near her. However, she still suffered damage. She held the sword tightly in her hand, to prevent herself from being pushed away. She really couldn't understand why a pseudo-ordinary challenger like Sung Yoon could use aura legs. There's nothing strange about Sung Yoon, why can she use it but he can't? The priestess told Sung Yoon, the holy power given by the gods is how we monks receive strength. I am very surprised that someone without any holy power can use such amazing sword energy. Seeing that the nun's hand was restored, she once again proactively rushed towards Sung Yoon to attack him. Sung Yoon used the sword to block the attack, but the sword in his hand was thrown away. Sung Yoon suddenly told her, according to what I heard from the first monk, it seems like I don't need to pass the test. Am I sure I can convince you? The nun smirked and told him, she didn't know, it was very possible if Sung Yoon's persuasion ability was good. Sung Yoon suddenly asked her how many physical exercises there were. The expression on her face immediately changed. She didn't expect Sung Yoon to be so arrogant. He felt at ease as if nothing had happened. The nun was once again agitated and proactively attacked Sung Yoon. She told him, if she wins, then she will talk. Sung Yoon activated the speed skill. The sword in her hand suddenly fell. Sung Yoon promptly grabbed her hand, in her bewilderment and surprise. Sung Yoon coldly asked the nun, is it okay to ask now? The nun didn't understand what was going on, why Sung Yoon could do this. On the contrary, she couldn't escape his arms at this time. Sung Yoon repeated what he just said. He asked her to tell him how to prove it. The nun raised her face to look at Sung Yoon. She blushed and asked him what he wanted to do to her. The administrators watching Sung Yoon's match were extremely excited, all looking forward to his answer. Sung Yoon had to say it many times before the nun understood. He was simply not interested in those things. Besides, who would come all the way here to do such things? The nun excitedly said to Sung Yoon, do you think everyone is the same? For an explorer, you're really naive. Sung Yoon was still extremely patient, asking her to explain to him. The nun struggled with her thoughts and finally explained to Sung Yoon that there were only 2 remaining body tests left. The 5th and 6th trials will be faith, and of course there is only one spiritual trial at the end. But the nun thought, Sung Yoon better give up, because no one can pass the 7th trial. Everyone who entered that trial became crazy or died from blood flowing throughout their bodies. While she spoke, Sung Yoon activated his fire dragon eye and confirmed that she was indeed not lying. Sung Yoon asked her, if there is a way to get through this place without killing people, please tell me. The nun not only did not speak but also showed a terrifying face. She was sure Sung Yoon couldn't do that. No matter what, she would go to God's place. Sung Yoon really had no choice. This girl didn't want to invite him to drink as punishment, so he had no choice but to cruelly attack her. There was no point in meddling anymore. Sung Yoon then absorbed the soul of the nun. His proficiency increased by 8.8%. Sung Yoon continued to open the next door. The person Sung Yoon has to pass the 3rd challenge is an old monk with strong muscles. He held the sword in front of Sung Yoon, introducing himself as Lucilian, my future sword. From now on he will be the one to check on Sung Yoon. He asked Sung Yoon to prove himself worthy to go to the next trial. Lucilian pointed the tip of the sword upward. The sword emitted a light, which was also the halo. Sung Yoon frowned and observed. He could be sure that it was a fire sword. This was also the moment Sung Yoon realized that he could no longer feel comfortable. Sung Yoon and Lucilian rushed at each other, but neither of them hit their target. Sung Yoon felt something was very strange. His physical abilities and swordsmanship were both inferior to his. So how could his sword energy be destroyed? After witnessing Nam Gung-hyuk's fire sword, Sung Yoon thought it was an ultimate skill, or maybe it was just because that guy was crazy strong. And the fire sword skill Lucilian was using was not the ultimate skill, to prove everything he was thinking. Sung Yoon proactively attacked Lucilian's fire sword. The result was still the same. His sword energy was still destroyed. Lucilian jumped forward, swinging his sword at Sung Yoon. He told you, no matter how strong your aura is, you will not be able to destroy this sword. Those who can destroy it are those who can face the invisible. See this. The more Sung Yoon thought, the more uncomfortable he felt. He seemed weaker than him, but he couldn't do anything, like someone who was stupider than him but always scored higher on tests. Sung Yoon rushes in, he must destroy it. Sung Yoon continued to attack Lucilian's sword. Lucilian kept repeating the people he had said. Sung Yoon ignored what he was rambling about. He put all his strength into the sword in his hand, delivering a heavy blow to Lucilian's fire sword, and then his sword was still chopped into 2 pieces by Sung Yoon. Sung Yoon finally understood the difference between fire sword and sword energy. The source of the fire sword's power is a strong enough spirit, and thanks to Sung Yoon's own strong spirit, he successfully destroyed the fire sword. What Sung Yoon did not expect was Lucilian's attitude towards him. He seemed to be happy when he successfully destroyed his sword. Lucilian trembled and reached forward. He told Sung Yoon, "You have proven yourself, keep it up." Sung Yoon stepped forward. He coldly cut a sword across his body. He would help him end all his suffering. He continued to absorb Lucilian's soul, his proficiency increasing by 14%. The purity of his unique characteristic had reached 100%, and he became a B-rank Death Spirit Master. From a C-level Pearl Spirit Master, Sung Yoon became a B-level Pearl Soul Master. He was extremely curious, not knowing what level of skill he would have this time. He gains side effect 6. When he absorbs the soul of a stronger opponent, he can be allowed to take one of the opponent's powers. Sung Yoon couldn't hide his excitement. Fake soul pearls had never made him feel disappointed. Moreover, he had just reached rank B and felt so great. He didn't know what other VIP Pro effects he would receive when he reached rank A and rank S. Sung Yoon opened the status panel to check. All of his stats were now in the hundreds. When he was a student, he never thought he could reach this level. Sung Yoon continued to go to the next challenge. He pushed the door and walked in, but the room was completely empty inside. Sung Yoon looked everywhere but couldn't see anyone. At that moment, a voice rang out, "Lucilian must be dead." The appearance of this character made the administrators watching Sung Yoon stir, asking him to be careful. This is not an easy character to deal with. Sung Yoon immediately raised his sword and once again proactively attacked him. He landed on the ground, stood in front of Sung Yoon and said, "I guess you don't really want to talk, so let's start, before the battle begins." This young man introduced Sung Yoon. He was a training pastor. His name was Kiran. He would begin to test Sung Yoon's body according to the law of testing. Sung Yoon activated his indomitable mind skill. He felt that Kiran was something very different from the pastors he had met. The previous pastors could not even compare with this guy's energy. Kiran created a glass plate, then pointed it straight at Sung Yoon. Magic power poured out from the glass, in a straight line towards Sung Yoon. Sung Yoon leaned to the side to defend. Magic power only passed through his body, but this was not the end. Magic force shot at the ceiling, then returned to the position where Sung Yoon was standing like a boomerang. No matter where he went, it would return to Sung Yoon. Sung Yoon quickly activated the Fire Dragon Eye. He was lucky to block the attack of light. The beam of light that Kiran just swung was not simply a normal beam of light. It also had the effect of reflecting onto the mirror and causing damage to him. Sung Yoon must quickly attack Kiran before those rays of light attack him. Having said that, Sung Yoon proactively rushed forward, using his sword energy to attack his opponent. Kiran flew high. He flapped his wings to create a wind, blowing Sung Yoon to the ground. Kiran continued to draw his sword. He turned to attack Sung Yoon. Sung Yoon was pushed into this situation by Kiran. It seems he had to use the fire sword. Kiran continued to create powerful winds. Sung Yoon looked at the way he attacked. He was sure that was Kiran's invincible method. Sung Yoon silently assessed the situation. Although Kiran uses rays of light to attack from afar, even if he can block it, his opponent will still be injured by the mirrors placed everywhere reflecting from hidden corners. Kiran uses those wings to create wind force from above, disrupting the opponent's balance, then counterattacks with a fire sword. Truly a formidable move. With the current situation, it will be difficult for Sung Yoon to destroy those mirrors. If he lets small fragments reflect light rays, he cannot block them all. The administrators who witnessed the match and Kieran's strength were also starting to doubt the difficulty of the 11th floor trial. The challenge was so difficult that it surpassed their understanding. Kieran continued to control the mirror in his hand. His face darkened. He challenged Sung Yoon. This time it won't be easy. Just try to take it. He continuously flapped his wings, forming 4 light-emitting spheres around him. Not only that, he also created lotus lights that shined on each other, attacking Sung Yoon together. An earth-shattering explosion occurred, but everything was not over yet. Not only was Sung Yoon not affected, on the contrary, he was also charged with energy. His shield skill to reflect attacks at dangerous moments has activated, the skill to reflect absorbed damage. Sung Yoon will release them all, converting them into attack moves. He returned everything Kieran had done to him. The damage from Sung Yoon skewered straight into Kieran's stomach. Kieran really did not expect that one day he would have to fall into this situation. Kieran gritted his teeth. He said to Sung Yoon, "I don't see any evidence that you have learned magic. Is it possible that the person who was given holy power?" Sung Yoon did not understand what Kieran was saying, nor did he know what holy power was. It was Sung Yoon's answer that forced Kieran to make a statement. He who neither ran away nor lost. I declare that he has completed the entire process of testing to prove his body. The one who met the standard. Sung Yoon absorbed Kieran's soul. His proficiency increased by 13%. Since Kieran's soul is stronger than the user, the power absorption assessment will begin. Sung Yoon had the power of his soul taken away. He received C+ level holy magic power. The power of holy magic will be engraved into Han Sung Yoon's soul. Sung Yoon can feel the energy in his heart, but cannot move it. This is different from mana. Sung Yoon collects Pastor Kieran's soul. His parameters will always increase. Sung Yoon continued walking into the next door. His opponent this time is an old woman. She calls Sung Yoon by the name, the martial arts fanatic. She told him, "Isn't one's goal just to win and win? To constantly become stronger and one day become the most powerful?" Indeed, Sung Yoon wanted to become stronger, but becoming the most powerful person, as he said, was not an exaggeration. He glanced at Sung Yoon's body. It seemed like he could see through his current thoughts and told him, "I'm not exaggerating, it's just the final result of your efforts." Sung Yoon's eyes were extremely sharp. He quickly pulled out his sword and attacked him without hesitation. He was now standing on top of him. She reminded him not to lose control. This test does not prove one's physical ability. Its purpose is to prove one's faith. Then continued to move in front of Sung Yoon. Sung Yoon continued to swing his sword, but still couldn't attack him. The speed of his opponent's movement surprised Sung Yoon. His facial expression was extremely confused. This old woman seemed to have occupied his entire mind. Sung Yoon felt like he was being held tightly by her and he couldn't do anything to her. And then she swallowed Sung Yoon. However, in an instant, all the scenes Sung Yoon had just seen completely disappeared. The old woman stood in front of him again. She suddenly said a word that made Sung Yoon extremely confused. She said to Sung Yoon, "You have passed the 5th trial, you can go now." She explained to him that the 5th test begins with super consciousness. In other words, only those with strong will are capable of looking straight into their inner self. I feel that strong will in him. A steadfast mind that will chop anyone to become stronger. The old woman was always ready to accept death. She asked Sung Yoon to quickly take action. She also wanted to gently take refuge in Buddha's door. However, Sung Yoon refused. He told his reason. "You've already made it through the door, so what's the use of killing a few more people?" She patted Sung Yoon's shoulder and said, "Goodbye, young man. I hope you will be able to prove yourself in the future." Sung Yoon continued to move forward. The more he walked, the more he felt the darkness gradually seep through the mirror. Soon, Sung Yoon could no longer see anything ahead. Right now,